as it always happens, don't get a chance to finish one project before another one breaks. That belt decided it was going to give up. So, I've got to replace it. Except, there's no easy way to get to it. So I've got to pull my blade off. I've got to pull my deck off. And I've got to get to that belt that right now smells of burning rubber. Luckily, it doesn't happen very often. There's where the drive shaft hooks up onto the crank. There's the crank. There's the drive shaft. There's nuts on this side. There's nuts on this side. So I'm thinking probably 6 or bolts. Why do I keep calling them nuts? Anyway, I'm thinking to take these 6 bolts off, and then we should be able to separate this drive shaft from this crank. Wind up getting a pry bar in here and putting a ratchet on that bolt head. They were very tight, and I think they were slightly corroded. Haven't pulled them off yet. From what it's looking like after a second look, it looks like I can just pull these 3 here off going into the drive shaft. I think these are basically holding this chunk of metal onto this drive shaft end. I think. I'll know as I continue. Alright, that did it. Those 3 bolts that go from here into here, pulled those out, was able to pry the drive shaft down off of there. So now I have a lot easier way to go. The book says to pull the drive shaft off, which it goes, you can't even see it. Oh, there you go. It goes under there, and I have to pull the fuel tank off and a whole bunch of other junk. I didn't want to do that. Granted, I had to pull my blade and the lower deck off, but that's still better. So I got the alternator completely loose. This belt has completely melted in there. It's pretty nasty. There it goes. Yeah. Desperate need of replacement. Focus. There. I mean, completely shot. So I'm going to try to go over my fan and see if I can't shortchange this. Before I forget, this is the type of belt you need, a 3L370. If you go get the John Deere belt, rather than being this thin, it's a 1/2 inch wide. It will not fit. John Deere suppliers have changed their part without changing the part number. So you'll spend all the time to swap this belt, and it will not work. By the way, there's the old belt. As you can tell, I mean, it's frayed. I was able to go around the fan, so that shaves a lot of time off of this project. I'm going to throw this back on over the fan because I'm particular. I will probably have the writing facing like this just because that's me. Anyway, so that is the type of belt you need, 3L370. If you look it up, those letters and numbers actually mean something, and they mean this is the exact size of this belt. After the new belt, it still wasn't charging. My charge light was on. That's gross. Anyway, charge light was on. So I pulled this off. It's locked up. So that apparently seized. Fried my last belt. I put a brand new belt on. It heated it up. Luckily I didn't run it for more than 20 seconds. But completely locked up alternator. Hooray! And it has green. So it's not going to be cheap. I think when I happen to see an alternator, it was like 130, maybe. Anyway, it's cheaper than a new tractor. Just keep telling myself that. It's cheaper than a new tractor. So after looking it up, John Deere wants $300 something for one of these. This is a 20 amp. There's a 40 amp that went on this tractor as well. I found that on Amazon for $65, and I actually found a aftermarket replacement for this for $60. So I'm going to upgrade from this little 20 amp to a 40 amp. So that'll be in a following video.